Hello, fellow patriots and truth seekers. It's been over 2 weeks now since we've had our big reveal meeting. Today is March 9th. Just wanted to give a few updates. Since that meeting, the CD7 Executive Board had agreed with the State Executive Board to have a convention, but they were notifying 62 people that they were not going to be invited or get the call because of infractions that they thought deemed worthy of not being able to be seated. 5 of those denials were because we had gotten cease and desist letters from David Hand, the former chair of the Republican Party's lawyer, and that was not part of the agreement. It was only supposed to pertain to the registration form. But besides us 5, there was 57 others, I believe, who were told they would not be able to go because of this faulty registration form, illegal registration form that was not prescribed by the MNGOP State Executive Committee, and it was not uniform with the rest of the county. So as far as I know, there was an appeals process, but as far as I know, no one who got the letter saying they wouldn't be invited won their appeals. Now, there may have been, but I have not heard of any of them. The main objective of them is to stay in power. So they will lie, cheat, and steal, whatever they have to do to keep people from participating in this convention. Also, they will probably try and seat people who did not get elected at their precincts. For one, would be Vance Bachman, who is the current BPOU chair. He did not attend his caucus. He did fill out an absentee application, but it was the people at his precinct decided not to nominate him nor vote for him, so he is not a 2024 delegate. So they then canceled. They scheduled a convention for March 8th, but since then it was canceled. They said, from what I heard, they couldn't find a venue, but the venue in which they had in 2023 and the venue that they now scheduled a March 22nd venue convention for, that venue was available on the week of March 8th, but for some reason they didn't take it, so that was just an excuse to not have it. Another excuse they had is they didn't have a committee set up to take constitutional proposals. They probably should have been able, they had plenty of time to do that. They probably don't have enough people to do that because people from the establishment in Otter Tail County are jumping ship faster than rats off the Titanic. So there was just a couple excuses why they did that. Now, they want to operate this convention. I'm sure they're going to try, like I said, they're going to try and eliminate people from participating. They're going to add people who are friendlies to the list. They'll also probably appoint a chair and a parliamentarian to run roughshod over the convention. They may even cancel the convention. You never know with these people beforehand, so they're up to all kinds of tricks. There's a couple things that I wanted to add that we didn't, there were some of the things that we discussed at our meeting a couple weeks ago. One of the things that was in 2023 when they suspended 33 duly elected delegates, there was 4 counties in our Senate District 9. There's a total of 5 with Otter Tail. There's Douglas, Grant, Traverse, and Wilkin. All 4 of those BPOUs passed resolutions to condemn the actions of Otter Tail, the Otter Tail BPOU. It says this. It says a resolution condemning the actions of Otter Tail County Republican Party leadership by unconstitutionally refusing to seat duly elected delegates and alternates. Whereas the Minnesota State Republican Party and each county Republican Party has a constitutional governing how each entity is to operate. Whereas the Republican Party stands for the rule of law, due process for all citizens, upholding the sanctity of the election process. Whereas when a person is duly elected by his or her fellow citizens at a biennial caucus to represent them as either a delegate or alternate at future Republican Party conventions, this constitution an important part of our Republican form of government. Whereas any attempt to unduly interfere with the functions of a delegate or an alternate in violation of the state or county Republican Party constitution is a serious breach of protocol and destroys trust in the Republican Party. Whereas refusing to seat a duly elected delegate or alternate at a Republican Party convention in direct violation of the state or county Republican Constitution, such a serious breach. Whereas the actions of the Otter Tail County Republican Party leadership at their county convention on February 11, 2023, wherein the leadership determined in advance of the convention to not only refuse to allow certain duly elected delegates and alternates to be seated, but to refuse to even allow them to attend the county convention in direct violation of the Otter Tail County Republican Party Constitution duly adopted in 2021, was a serious breach of protocol and destroyed trust in the Otter Tail County Republican Party. Whereas it is an inexcusable act to refuse to seat duly elected delegates and alternates without affording said delegates and alternates due process to know what they did to justify being treated in such an unbecoming manner, and allow them to defend themselves before any negative action was taken against them. Whereas said shameful and authoritarian action by the Otter Tail County Republican Party leadership has no place in the Republican Party and ought to be condemned by every freedom-loving citizen, regardless of their political affiliation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Douglas County Republican Party as follows. The Douglas County Republican Party condemns in the strongest possible terms the action of the Otter Tail County Republican Party leadership in designing to refuse to seat certain delegates and alternates, or even let them enter the convention on February 11th, 2023, in direct violation of the Otter Tail County Republican Party Constitution and without affording them the process to know allegations against them and afford them the opportunity to defend themselves. So like I said, this was passed by our four other counties in Senate District 9 to condemn Otter Tail County actions. So there's a lot of rumors going on that we're just a ragtag bunch of people who are disgruntled, who are angry and upset because we lost an election. That's not the case at all. We are the vast majority in Otter Tail County in the Republican Party. It's a handful of nefarious, corrupt people who are doing things that are illegal, which is said by basically by our surrounding counties, telling such that happens to be the case. So not only was it them, but other counties across the state of Minnesota have condemned their action since. So another thing that happened was in 2024, after our caucus was considered null and void, and they planned on canceling a county convention, our two representatives from Otter Tail County, our state representatives, Tom Murphy and Jeff Backer, they wrote letters condemning the actions and demanding that we be seated. They said as follows: reinstate all 2024 Otter Tail County delegates and alternates from Representative Murphy and Representative Backer, March 18th, 2024, to Chair Han, Deputy Chair Bergstrom, Executive Director Matthews, and members of the Minnesota GOP Executive Board. On February 27, 2024, grassroots conservatives overwhelmed the Otter Tail County caucuses, outnumbering other attendees by a margin of almost 5-1. Acting on the advice of senior party members, these members worked hard and followed the political process. They attended the 2024 caucus with the goal of effecting change within the county organization, a change they hope would restore truth and transparency, revitalize grassroots participation in the county operations, and protect the sovereign election rights of the people. These good folks showed up to support Republicans locally and statewide. It is paramount that the party prioritize the decision of precinct caucus voters in the weeks since the caucus. These members have watched in alarm as many party officials at the local, district, and state levels have worked to nullify Otter Tail County's caucus results, and in so doing overturn the representative decisions of Otter Tail County's caucus electorate. These are not the actions of a party founded upon the hallowed principles of liberty and justice for all. They are perceived as the actions of an organization intent on disregarding the will of the precinct voters. Now, there's a lot more to this letter, but besides these two, there's other representatives in the state of Minnesota who have written in support of Otter Tail County as well as other BPOUs and other congressional districts in support of Otter Tail County. Everyone knows that the Otter Tail County leadership has been corrupt over the last 3 years, doing everything within their power to stay in power, even though they're vastly outnumbered. But anyway, these are just a few of the updates and a couple of things that we had forgot to mention a couple weeks ago. Anyway, continue the good fight of faith, Patriots. We will see you down the road. Thank you.